Welcome to another episode of That Crazy Triangle Guy. We're looking at Bitcoin US index on the 1 hour time frame. I want to start off this video by making it very clear that our dump started here Tuesday, August 15th, 1900. You can go back and look at especially any altcoin at that point, and you can see that within a matter of 5 minutes at 1900 on this date, Tuesday, August 15th, millions and millions and millions of coins were dumped. Now, this is, I don't know, a market maker move, whale move, whatever. The big guys running the show did this, or somebody. Um, and it happened when we breached this orange line right here. Or it's what caused us to breach this orange line. Um, Actually, you know what? Let's look a little bit closer. Minutes. That's a good question. Yep. You can see it right there. See that big volume spike there? This is Bitcoin. So it's just another spike in Bitcoin. But, this is all dumpiness here. But you can clearly see it on any altcoin, all the altcoins. This was you know what? And it is what caused us, this dump caused us to breach that line. So, and that was at 1905. um, yeah, so this is what caused the dump of these days. It wasn't because of this breach, but they dumped to cause that breach. I'm going in on the 1 minute here. Yeah, 1907, 1908. All this huge dumping here. um, and you can see on the 1 minute chart, up until that point on this index, Bitcoin was averaging less than 10 coins per minute. And then this massive dumping of hundreds of coins per minute. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but if you multiply that by 60 minutes, you're getting out thousands and thousands of coins. Anyway, and the Bitcoin wasn't the significant portion of the dumping, it was the altcoins. But that's when it all started. All right, so we've determined that. Let's see, I'm on the hourly on this chart. So that was our dump, the breach of this orange line, this orange trend line. Now, that is not the trend line, this green one. Okay, so you can see the orange one and the green one, and we'll go to the daily now to show the difference. Here we are on the daily chart. The green trend line is the line that everybody's been talking about. And you can see we breached that, and that was here on the hourly. That was on Wednesday, an entire day later, around 1920, 2025, I believe, was when there was a lot of dumping going on. And that's when the rest of the market caught up to this move the previous day. Or possibly the others continued the move too. So this green trend line is the one that many people have been talking about that connects here in January, March, and June. And we fell through it here. Now, you can see that this line is at a much different angle than the rest of these lines I've drawn on the chart. And in fact, this orange line is actually the bottom of a parallel channel that I drew back here before the FTX collapse and have extended it since. It was a range we were trading in before the FTX collapse, right here. And it was a trajectory we were going to follow. We were following as we broke through this long trend line of resistance that everybody was talking about last year, our downward trend line that went all the way back to our all-time high and hit all these other contact points. I've just drawn it roughly here. I threw it in. So, but we broke through here, and then FTX happened. Now, it seems very coincidental to me that Gary Gensler has strong connections to all these dumps that we've made, because you see, once we dumped here with FTX, who he had strong ties to. I mean, they both. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it. You can, if you don't know the history of Gary and Sam Bankman-Fried and the whole family and the political parties they're affiliated with, and even to the extent that he authorized or signed the check for the Steele dossier, go research all that stuff. So this is where we were traveling in this parallel channel. FTX happened. Boom, boom, boom. Came back up. Market said, "F you. We're coming back here where we want to go." And then boom. What happened in March? This was again FUD created by Gary Gensler and friends going after. I don't remember exactly. It's been so many that it's just they all melt together. Uh, uh, Kraken and KuCoin, I think, and there was going after staking and selling unregistered securities. Who knows what? It's one of those deals. And boom, they release these releases that they make are planned after we've been consolidating in a sideways for a while. Consolidating sideways for a while. FTX happens. Consolidating sideways for a while. They release news about going after all these exchanges. Boom. Going sideways for a long, long time here. And then back here on June 5th, I believe, Gary went after Coinbase and Binance and listed a whole bunch of tokens that they believed were securities. Not necessarily that they're going after those tokens, but they just had to name some as securities to go after the exchanges. And boom, we fell down again. Now this time we didn't fall all the way down here. Here we fell through this red line. Here we fell to the red line. Here we just fell to the green line. And currently, where did we fall? Perfectly to this red line, which is parallel. The red line is parallel. All these lines are parallel. Parallel channel, this red line. I think is there another one out there? No, I guess that's all the lines I have. And, we did wick through a little bit here, but if I zoom in, this is on a daily. We hit these two other wicks the day prior and the day after, and this one just came through a little bit. Now, what's really interesting is that when you make this line, which is parallel to this other trend line that we had been following here, I'm sorry, well, we did follow it there, but back in here is when I drew it and started following it. This red line, let's follow it back. I've extended all these lines. Well, you know what? Let's go to the weekly now. Okay, now we're on the weekly time frame. Oh, here's where I added more channels. The red line is still right here. And go all the way back to the COVID collapse. Right here. We wicked down to it perfectly. COVID. FTX fell through it a little bit, but kind of the March dump and our current dump. And where does it go beyond that? As well, I stopped drawing the red line, but the red line is the bottom of this parallel channel. All these parallel channels that are lines that are parallel to one another are very significant trend lines that go way, way back in Bitcoin history. And where we've seen significant price action all the way back. This middle bluish channel, this very tiny one, contained a lot of price action all the way back to 2013. Does it go back farther than that? Oh, you know what? It's the bottom. The bottom of this parallel channel, the big thick one, which is also that red line, hits the top of 2011 all-time high exactly. So to think that this is like random and we're going to go down, we're going to crash down here somewhere, to even look at my cursors at 18,000 or anywhere below this, for people to think that we're going to crash anywhere below this bottom, the red line, or the bottom of this parallel channel, it's kind of, well, I don't know. We did here, but this was our bottom. I mean, of course, we have come below it, but not in any recent times. Oh, we could. Hell, we could just come like right out here, right? Even if we did come out here, whatever. Anyway, that's very, very speculative, and it's just crazy talk right there when I was talking. Um, this is the important thing. Boom, we hit it here. Boom, we hit it here. Hit it back in COVID. These recent past few years is the significant part of this. All right, so I've gone on about that. So the next point is, what did we do after each of those times? Here, well, we traveled sideways for a long time because this was pretty devastating. But we bounced right back up into here. Took a couple months, but we did it. March, what did we do? We wicked down. Now, this is a weekly, but we'll go in and look at it on the hourly too. Wick down here. Next week, boom, back up, way up, all the way out. Man, we said F you and didn't just come back into the channel. We went outside the channel and rode above it for a while. And then here back in June, we didn't even follow the red line. We just said, Gary, we're getting sick and tired of your BS. And came right back up to the top of the channel, wicked through it a little bit, traded along the top before going sideways once more and coming back down here. So this really makes me further believe that our next move, next week we'll see a candle that goes all the way back up into here to the top of the channel. Now, if you look at the right side over here, oh, I guess that's what happens when I touch my screen. Anyway, when we pump back up into the channel, the top of the channel here sits about 33,000. Now, I've been calling 32 and 33,000 for a range for us to be trading in. So I think that's our next move, right up into here, 32, 33,000 for the next few weeks, maybe into September. And later on in September, October, moving upwards. Let's see where 37,000 is. Yeah, so 37, 38,000 is up in this range, right around here. And that's in November. I think we hit it before November. I think we hit it in October. Yeah, okay, so that's at the top of the channel here in October. And then possibly go sideways in November. I really believe we're going to hit 48 before the end of the year, though. Although I do expect a pullback in the last couple months of December, typically for tax reasons or whatever. Of course, I don't know why anybody would be claiming profit. They'd want to take, I don't know. People have various reasons for what they do. We'd have to come way outside that channel. I mean, which is unreasonable. We have done that. Okay, now I said we were going to look at the hourly. So currently, where are we? Oh, we're way down. Whoa, we're way down here. Kind of doing a little consolidation here. I do believe this is as far down as we'll go. We almost hit the bottom of the weekly Gaussian channel here. I mean the what is that? I believe it's the mean band of the weekly Gaussian channel. Right? I'm confusing myself now. I'm on the. Let's go to a different time frame. Well, let's go to the weekly. Yeah, this was the top. We came down. Oh no, we did not even come down. We came down to the red line. That's the red line I'm looking at the other chart. Anyway, yeah, that's as far down as we're going, in my opinion. Of course, we could come down a little bit further to 24,400 ish. but I'm not calling for that. But if we did, it wouldn't be the end of the world. I don't want to look at June, really. Let's look at March. Really bad scenario here. So this is on an hourly time frame. And this is what we did in March when we crashed. This is our big crash through the orange line. Boom, boom, boom. On the hourly, it doesn't look like a straight down crash. So, when we came down here and we went sideways for a while. Now, let's see this move here. The final move was Thursday, 1800 hours, March 9th. And we went sideways over the weekend until CME started trading again, probably on Sunday, and then started moving back upwards into the next week. So might we see something like that? Yeah, probably so, if we do not just completely pump today. Now, the other thing, so I've probably been, let me stop for a second. Yeah, I've been going on for over 20 minutes, so I want to get to some other things here real quickly, because we still have the volatility setups on the all across the board, across multiple time frames. 2-day is ending in 10 hours, and currently, while we did have this pump downwards, we are recovering from it, and so that has given the, of course, various momentum indicators will be a little bit different, but this stochastic indicator, why does those stupid little things pop up there? The blue one is showing the fast movement, and it is angled upwards here on this expansion. We have expanded on the 2-day. So that's a good sign in my book. And then, of course, the 5-day time period here is still angled downwards, and that closes again in 10 hours, but it has not expanded yet. It's still at 6%. That won't expand until at least the next, probably more likely the next closure in 5 days from now, 5 days and 10 hours. And since this is down low here, and considering that we probably do move back upwards over the next 5 days, I see this heading upward, expanding and further strengthening our move, or justifying our move upward, and same with the weekly here. The weekly is still at 7.54%, and at the bottom of the range, and probably more likely will angle upwards. Quickly, let's go to, now what's interesting is that the alt market is recovering more quickly than Bitcoin. It's up 1.21%, the total 3, whereas Bitcoin is still down for the day. What's funny is that Binance is way up. Binance is trading at a $700 premium. Of course, they give you no fee Bitcoin too, so it kind of really evens out the one, whatever. And let's see, 26,230. Yes, futures is still at or below spot, so that's not good. But so let's go to the total 3 and see where we're at on expansion there. There we go. Expanding and pointed upwards. You can see the long wick here. Hopefully we make that wick longer here on the Oh, this is the 2-day time frame. And then, of course, on the 5-day and the weekly, it's the same as Bitcoin. Still haven't expanded yet, and we're at the low ends of the range. So, okay, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'll see you next time. Thanks. Um, well, before I go, let's go back to. Well, I already pointed this out, actually. Before I go, just remember trading in the channel. Gary and Friends does something. Move back up into the channel. Gary and Friends does something again. Move back up through the channel. Trading the channel again. Gary and Friends do something again. Boom. And then back up in the channel. Don't know exactly who did this. Somebody did something. Boom, back up into the channel.